It is July 11th at 12:45 a.m. and I am Jeffrey Wayne McBride Jr. And I state on the record, this is my motion to dismiss. And it says, in the United States District Court, Eastern District of Missouri, Eastern Division, United States of America, Plaintiff versus Jeffrey McBride Jr., Defendant. Trust case number 13CR00173 This is page number 1. Motion to dismiss. I, Jeffrey Wayne McBride Jr., sue Juris, a free man, sovereign, constitutional rights intact, ask these honorable courts to dismiss the above mentioned case number of trust 413CR00173 ERW for the following reasons. 1. The reservation of my rights. I explicitly reserve all my rights. UCC 1-308, which was formerly UCC 1-207. 1-308, performance or acceptance under reservation of rights. A party that with explicit reservation of rights performs or promises performance or assents to performance in a manner demanded or offered by the other party does not thereby prejudice the rights reserved. Such words as without prejudice, under protest, or the like are sufficient. Page 2. Number 2, further advisement. This is to advise that all of the actions of the court and all others in these cases against defendant are in violation of A. U.S.C. Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 13, 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. B. U.S.C. Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 13, 242, Deprivation of Rights under color of law. Affidavit of truth. Equally under the law is paramount and mandatory by law. I, Jeffrey Wayne McBride Jr., a titled sovereign, hereby declare that I am competent to manage all my own affairs. All other entities are incompetent to manage any of my affairs and are hereby fired. A sovereign cannot be tried in their own court, consistent with the eternal tradition of natural common law. Unless I have harmed or violated someone or their property, I have committed no crime and therefore not subject to any penalty. Thus be known to all in the nature of UCC 1-308 that I reserve my natural common law right not to be compelled to perform under any contract that I did not enter into knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally. And furthermore, I do not accept the liability associated with the compelled and pretended benefit of any hidden or, page 3, unrevealed contract or commercial agreement. As such, the hidden or unrevealed contracts that suddenly create obligations to perform for persons of subject status are inapplicable to me and are null and void. If I participate in any of the supposed benefits associated with these hidden contracts, I have done so under duress, for lack of any other practical alternative. Any such participation does not constitute acceptance in contract law because of the absence of full disclosure of any valid offer and voluntary consent without misrepresentation or coercion under contract law without a valid voluntary offer and acceptance knowingly entered into by both parties. There is no meeting of the minds and therefore no valid contract. Any supposed contract is therefore void ab initio. Typical examples of such compelled and benefits are: number 1, birth certificate. The fact that a birth certificate was granted to me by a local hospital or government agency when I entered this world is irrelevant to my sovereignty. No status, high or low, can be assigned to another person through a piece of paper without the recipient's full knowledge and consent. Therefore, such a piece of paper provides only hearsay, date, and, page 4, place information only. It indicates nothing about jurisdiction, nothing about property ownership, nothing about my rights or any rights, and nothing about subject status. The only documents that can have any legal meaning as it concerns to my status in society are the which I have signed as an adult with full knowledge and consent, free from misrepresentation or coercion of any kind. My birth certificate are none other than warehouse receipts. My parents were tricked into signing. Number 2, the use of an identification number from a government agency. The number normally assigned to a person of subject status, I use exceptionally under duress only because of the extreme inconvenience of operating without one in today's marketplace, where it is requested by banks, employers, lenders, and many other government agencies and businesses. My reason for using it is not because I wish to participate in the system, as I do not wish to participate. Let it be known that I use the number for information only, if at all. Number 3. The use of fiat currency to discharge my debts. Page 5. I have used these only because in this country there is no other widely recognized currency. The use of a Number 4. The use of a bank account with signature on the bank signature card. If there is any hidden contract behind the bank signature card, my signature thereon gives no validity to it. The signature is only for verification of identity. I can be obligated to fulfill no hidden or unrevealed contracts whatsoever due to the absence of full disclosure and voluntary consent. Likewise, my use of the bank account thereof is due to the absence of a bank not associated with the central bank system. In general, people have been prevented from issuing their own currencies, and such prevention is in violation of the national constitution. Were there an alternative, I would be happy to use it. To not using any bank at all is impossible or very difficult, as everyone knows in today's marketplace. Number 5. Past tax returns filed. Any tax returns I may have filed in the past were filed due to the dishonest atmosphere of fear and intimidation created by the tax collector in the local assessor's office, and because there is, page 6, any law requiring me to do so. Once I discovered the tax agencies are lying to the public, I have felt it is my responsible duty to terminate my voluntary participation. Because such returns were filed under threat, duress, and coercion, TDC, and no two-way contract was ever signed with full disclosure. There is nothing in any past filing of returns that create any valid contract, therefore no legal obligation on my part was ever created. Number 6. The use of a driver's license. As a free sovereign, there is no legal requirements for me to have such a license. For traveling in my car, as technically the unrevealed legal purposes of driver's license is commercial in nature. Since I do not carry passengers or freight for hire, there is no law requiring me to have a license to travel for my own pleasure and that of my family and friends. However, because of the lack of education of police officers on this matter, should I be stopped for any reason and found to be without a license, it is likely I would be harassed. Therefore, under duress, I carry a license to avoid extreme inconvenience. Number 7. State plates on my car. Page 7. Similarly, even though technically my car does not fit the legal definition of a motor vehicle, which is used for commercial purposes, nevertheless, I have registered with the state and carry the state plates on it because to have any other plates or no plates at all causes me the risk of police officer harassment and extreme inconvenience. Number 8. Declaration of citizenship. Any document I may have signed in which I answered yes to the question, "Are you a United States citizen?" cannot be used to compromise my status as a sovereign nor obligate me to perform in any manner. This is because without full written disclosure of the definition and consequence of each supposed citizenship, provided in a document bearing my signature, given freely without misrepresentation or coercion, there can be no legal binding contract. I make no allegiance to any earthly government. I am neutral to all. Number 9. Past voter registration. Similarly, since no obligation to perform in any manner was ever revealed in print as part of the requirements for the supposed privilege to vote. Page 8. For government officials, any such previous registration on my part cannot be legal evidence of any obligation to perform. Likewise, I have granted no jurisdiction over me to any political office. It is my inherent right to vote on elections or issues that I feel affected all of society, not because I need anyone to rule over me. On the contrary, may use the voting process only to instruct my public servants what a citizen and sovereign would like done. Number 10. Marriage license. The acquisition of a marriage license is now being revealed as being necessarily only for slaves. The act of a sovereign such as myself obtaining such a license through social custom and ignorance of law has no legal effect in changing my status. This is because any such change in status, if any, may be supposed to occur, could happen only through a hidden and unrevealed contract or statute. Since no hidden, unrevealed and undisclosed information, if it exists, can be lawfully held by binding. It is null and void. 11. Children in public school. The tenets of any children in government supported. Page 9. Public schools or government controlled private schools does not create any legal tax obligation for me or any other legal obligation because I never signed a contract agreeing to such obligation for the supposed privilege of public school attendance. If any of my children have attended government-supported public or controlled private schools, such was done under duress and not out of free will. Be it known that I regard compulsory state education as a violation of the natural and universal common law of freedom of choice. 12. Use of semantics. Number 12. Use of semantics. There are some immature people with mental imbalances such as the craving to dominate over other people who masquerade as government. Just because they alter definition of words in the law books to their supposed advantage doesn't mean we have to accept those definitions. The fact that they define the words person, address, mail, residence, motor vehicle, driving, passenger, employee, income, and many others in ways different from common uses so as to be associated with a subject or slave status means nothing in real life because the courts have become, page 10, entangled in the game of semantics. Be it known to all courts and all parties that if I ever sign any document or spoke any words on record using words defined by twists in the law books different from the common uses, there can be no effect whatsoever on my sovereign status in society, thereby nor can there be created any obligation to perform in any manner by the mere use of such words, where the meaning in the common dictionary differs from the meaning in the law dictionary. It is the meaning in the common dictionary that prevails because it is more trustworthy. Such compelled and supposed benefits include, but not limited to, the aforementioned typical examples. My use of such alleged benefits is under duress only and is with full reservation of all my common law rights. I have waived none of my intrinsic rights and freedoms by my use thereof. Furthermore, my use of such compelled benefits may be temporary until better alternatives become available, practical, and widely recognized. Federal jurisdiction. It is further relevant to this affidavit that any violation of my rights, freedom, or property by, page 11, the federal government or any agent thereof will be an illegal and unlawful excess clearly outside the limited boundaries of federal jurisdiction. My understanding is that the jurisdiction of the U.S. federal government is defined by Article 1,